Hello, BookTube. I'm going to do another video here. Just got off work. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny day. Around 67 degrees this morning. It was raining, but the clouds have cleared off and it's beautiful outside. I want to do the University Press tag. I'm not sure who started this, and sorry if I don't give you a shout out. But first, I want to show you this book that I didn't show yesterday. This is the New Century of Writing book. This book came out in 1926 and by Garland Griever and Esley S. Jones. And it was copyrighted in 1918 by the Century Company. And it has the different, in the front there, you can see it has the different sections like dictation, grammar, spelling, miscellaneous, punctuation, completeness of thought. So I put that aside and we'll start with the University Press book tab. The first one is the from Texas A&M University, the Fighting Texas Aggie Band. And this just shows you the history of the band, different photographs of the different different pictures. Sorry, I got a notification there. I didn't know whether it would be on my video or not. The band was part of the Corps, and the only reason I kept this is because my name is in here. It's right there. Is my name. I was in the Texas A&M band. Next one is from Yale University Press, and I have not read this one yet. This is Michael Musgrave, a Brahms reader, and I'm having a hard time getting this sticker off from a half-price bookstore. This one came out in, let's check here, Yale University Press, New Haven and London. Came out in the year 2000. And it just shows the composer, performer, table contents, and works of life. So this is the Brahms reader. Next, from Harvard University up in Boston, Harvard University Press came out with this one, Magnalia Christia Americana, books 1 and 2 edited by Kenneth B. Burdock with assistance of Elizabeth W. Miller, and there's Mr. Murdoch on the back cover. That's a terrible dust jacket here. It's falling apart. This one came out in 1977. There's a long introduction, and this is here's a facsimile of the original Magnalia Christi Americana, or the Eschatological History of New England from first planting in the year 1620 until the year of our Lord 1698 in 7 books. This is the facsimile cover of that. And this is the first book of New English history. Right there. And oh, there we go. And this is very good. I haven't read all of it, just parts of it. Next is I got this from the University of Chicago Press. They had sent me a catalog, and the catalog a book, and it said the Great Chicago Book Sale. I'm guessing it's better than the Great Chicago Fire. Not sure. But I ordered these 2 books, and They actually came from the Bodleian Library of Oxford University. It's Bodleian. Bodleian, not sure. The first one is Petrograd, 1917. Witnesses to the Russian Revolution by John Pinford. This book came out, and let's check the date on here. This book came out in 2017, so it's pretty recent. But John Pinford went through 39 eyewitnesses to the Russian Revolution, all English, and there's a couple pictures of some of the eyewitnesses. One actually was the tutor for the Tsar and his family, his children, and stayed with them until the end, until they were executed. And there were several pictures in here, and several witnesses, and several of the witnesses have actually written memoirs, which are probably out of print by now, I'm not sure. And so he goes into detail and puts those all together, and starts in Petrograd, 1914, and it goes through all the way to the very end of it, and shows a great picture. And soldiers leading the crowd, and then the Vitsky principle. They also have some color pictures in this one also. And Russian Daily News, this is November 1917, fighting approaches the city. And the second one is Cabinet Not Yet Formed. So it's a very interesting history of the Russian Revolution from people who were there at the time. This is a pretty poster of the Einstein's film October. Didn't get that one yet. And here's a postcard of Lenin from 1914 on this page. It's a very, very fascinating history of the what went on, eyewitness accounts of the Russian Revolution. It's extremely good. The next one from that same library, and this one's amazing. This is the Treasures from the Map Room, and it's edited by Debbie Hall. And you go through the journey through the Bodleian collection, the University of Oxford, and it has travel exploration, knowledge and science, pride and ownership, maps of war, city and maps, maps for fun, and imaginary lands. This is a summer dated. Tells you very much of summer dated, very, very old. And here's one from 1830. Shows Vanished Britain. This is 1830 right here. I'm flipping through these. Let's see if I can find some good ones. There is this is one is, here's one in 1610. It's a map in 1610 right here. And here's a map of the moon. This is Galileo Galilei published the first map of the moon in 1610. So this was originally owned, this portion was really owned by a gentleman who donated it to the Oxford University in 1619. So this is the map of the moon. there is one that I'm trying to find here that I wanted to show Steve Donahue because it's very interesting, and it has the map of Boston, Massachusetts on it for King George III, and it shows just a little, and it has a little red marking on there for the where the rebels are located. Let's see if I can find that real quick. There's trench maps of World War One. So this is a very, very, very fascinating map. And this is a map of Paris from 1860. And it's I really enjoy this when looking at it, going through it all the time. This is fascinating, fascinating. Oh, here it is. It's called Plan of Boston and the Environments, showing the true situation of His Majesty's Army. And those are the rebels. And here it is right here. You look at that dark red spot, that's where the rebels are located in Boston. And that was during the Revolutionary War. Fascinating, fascinating. This is Jerusalem. This is just one part. It's one page of it. It's actually 3 pages in this, maybe 4. So it's beautiful. Watch see in person, might be more beautiful. This next one is what I actually used for reference on my NaNoWriMo page. I was writing about called the clay horse. It was actually about the tribe of Alan. The tribe of Alan lived up above by the Caspian and Black Seas, the Caucasus Mountains. They actually patrolled the Darrell Gorge, which is one of the paths through the Caucasian Mountains. It was a path that Alexander the Great used to go into Afghanistan. He also set the Iron Gates down south, and if you're dispensationalist, you'll believe that those Iron Gates are holding back the gods of the god of Magog and God, who, when they released, come down to a battle with Israel in the Battle of Armageddon at the end of the age. But the Allens were just, here's the book right here. This is from the University of Minnesota Press. This is the history of the Allens in the West from their first appearance in sources of classical antiquity through the early Middle Ages. It's by Bernard S. Bacharach. And the problem with the Allens is that they were illiterate. So we really couldn't find anything about them written down. And this guy did. They were Scythian people, Scythian people that inhabited the area along the banks of the River Don and the Sea of Azov. That's Azov. And they are mentioned in the book of Josephus, which I have over here against the wall. And they were people who rode on horseback. In fact, they said that if you knocked them off the horse, they couldn't walk because they've always ridden horses. They go yelling into fights. They would use a tactic called a false retreat tactic, in which one division would be in the center. Then you have the two divisions, left and right. Those two divisions on the left and right would back away. The center portion will go forward. But then those two divisions, it looked like they were retreating, but actually they weren't. They actually were circling around and attacking from the back when the enemy was approaching from the front and thinking, well, this is an easy win. But it wasn't. And so they also did and the king wore a little medal around his neck, chain, a little medal, which showed a sword being pulled out of the ground, stuck into the ground, because that's how they determined the king who was able to pull the sword out of the ground. And it has a lot of bibliography in it. And the Mongols came, the white Mongols came, and got rid, excuse me. Sorry about that. There's like stupid notifications. The Mongols came and actually dispersed the tribe of Alan. They went to Gaul, Portugal, France, North Africa, and there are, according to this book, there are 55 place names in Paris and Germany and France and Russia that are named actually after the Alans, the tribe of Alan. So for an illiterate, nomadic people, when they had 55 place names, they did pretty good. This next one has a history on it because I was at Half Price Bookstore and saw this book on the counter, on the shelf, excuse me, and I pulled it down, looked through it, looked at the price, and I said, you gotta be kidding me. They wanted $160 for it. And I put it back. And a year later, it was still on the shelf for $160. 2 years later, they had reduced the price to $20. Earlier today, I saw this book on Amazon, and they were asking $40 for it. And this is from Columbia University Press. This is the Heresies of the High and Middle Ages. It's by Walter Wakefield and Austin P. Evans. I just used a little bit of this book. This one, it's from the year 1000 to the year 1250. So you have the Cathars I mentioned, Cathar literature, 13th, 14th century. You have the Catharist Church and interpretation of the Lord's Prayer. You have the heretical movements in Northern Europe. You have heresy in the 13th and early 14th centuries. You have heresy in southern France, heresy in Italy. You have the origins of the Cathars in Italy, the heresy of the Passagians. You have Bernard of Clairvaux against Henry. You have appeal to Bernard of Clairvaux and the sermon in reply. You have a appeal from Liege to the Pope. Edu of Brittany, a description of Edu by an ominous heretical. You have early traces of heresy in France, Italy, and Spain. The Letard and the Bees. The heresy of Tonquilum, accusation by the canons of Utrecht, and there's several others. There's a monk's description of the heirs of Henry from the late 11th to the mid 20th century. So, and this book goes on for about 600 pages, but a lot of it notes. There's a lot of notes in here, a lot of bibliography. So this is worth the $20. not 160. Thank you for your comments on my first video, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, BookTube.